Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. We are live for the press conference for FloWrestling's Burroughs versus Zahid. It goes down tomorrow. Zahid Valencia and Jordan Burroughs, the main event at 185 pounds. But we have 6 fantastic matches coming up before that, David.
Man, I can't wait to hear from these athletes. And, obviously every single one of these matches is going to be super high level. I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, dynamite. I mean, dynamite. We'll put one of the best matches first. It's a rematch of the 2020 Senior Nationals Finals at 97 kilograms. We're gonna see Gadson taking on Colin Moore. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Great.
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm actually pretty fired up to be doing this, and then
Me too.
get to watch you guys all throw down tomorrow. So, I kind of want to just start with, it's been a weird year, right? Everything's kind of been shut down, or to some degree since the spring. I'm curious how you in the last 6 to 8 months, how you've grown as a wrestler in these weird times. Things are different. So I don't know, have you trained different, or how have you grown in these unusual circumstances? And we can start with you, Kyvan.
I would just say the biggest thing for me is being able to understand the controllables, right? Like what can you control? I couldn't control COVID. I couldn't control uh, how it adjusted and um, made my training situation and things different. But the things I could control were like my nutrition, the running, um, my access to the things that I like have in my house and things like that. So it just allowed me to really dive deeper into myself and focus and reflect on those things and make sure that I'm taking hold of the things in my daily life, right? In terms of me, and making sure that I'm doing those at a high level. And I think that allows me to transition better onto the wrestling mat.
Sure. Colin, same question for you. How have you grown as a wrestler in 2020, essentially, but more or less since things got shut down?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just, learning to wrestle under, you know, weird circumstances. At Ohio State, we've always had, especially with the new Jennings facility, we've always had, the best training situation. And then, that kind of all got thrown under the bus. You're kind of scrambling for even, to find a room to wrestle in. So you're just kind of really learning to throw away some maybe OCD habits of stuff that you feel like you have to have before you compete, or to feel good for competition, or just training in general, and kind of rolling with the punches in that way. And I'd also say I kind of fell into like I have my own little wrestling club now, so I'm constantly like teaching technique, and it's actually really helped me kind of break it down for myself and really hone in on some skills. And I think it's very valuable to be able to teach wrestling. It's one thing to know it and to do it, but once you have to start teaching it, you gain a whole new understanding of what actually happens in certain situations.
Did you say you kind of like, I don't know the words you used, fell into this club, or like I don't know what you said, but it seems like it just kind of it just kind of happened.
Yeah, yeah. So one day they were like, "Hey, we have this space. The coach can't do it anymore. Would you be interested in taking over?" And obviously, I had nothing else to do, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And it's been growing at a good steady rate. So it keeps me busy, and like I said, it puts me around the sport even more than I was already, which has been awesome for me. I get to help out a lot of kids, and like I said, I get to teach technique all the time. So I'm constantly breaking things down, and it's really helped me grow as a wrestler, I think.
Sure.
That's awesome. Man, you guys have met at senior nationals the last couple of years, and I'm curious to know from each of you guys what you've learned from those matches, or what you've taken that maybe help you prepare for this match tomorrow. And Kyvan, let's start with you.
Don't get ducked. Don't give up turns. No, like I always knew Colin was obviously like a quality opponent. I've been watching him on the college circuit for a while, and I knew he had trained with Kyle and his kind of situation at Ohio State. But yeah, we wrestled in 2019 at the senior nationals in the semis, and he beat me there. And then we wrestled a month ago at the senior nationals in the finals, and he beat me there. So I knew coming into when I got this call that there was an opportunity to wrestle him again. I knew that it was a no brainer to take the match, because when someone beats you, and especially the last time, it was pretty handily in terms of the way he navigated and the way he got to his attacks and exploited me. It was like there were some adjustments that needed to be made. And so over the last month, it was just like what it was about examining that information that I received from senior nationals and then making those adjustments. And so tomorrow I'm excited to see what those adjustments look like in real time. And so I'm really excited about that. And I know I can't give him my right elbow, that's for sure. We'll find out what else I can't do and what I can do. So I'm really excited about it.
That's great. Colin, what about you? What have you learned from those two previous matches?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Kyvan. Obviously, he's very good. He's been at the top level for a long time, and I know these top level guys, like he just said, they learn a lot from previous matches. So I think the biggest thing for me is just constantly trying to be creative in the way I approach matches, and thinking of different attacks. Thinking, I'm always trying to think of a second attack off the attack I hit him with last time, because I obviously they're gonna expect that one to be coming. So it's really pushed me to be creative in wrestling, and then just being mentally focused the whole match. No one wants to get beat. No one wants to get beat again. I've been in that situation with some guys, and I know when I'm in that situation, I usually throw the kitchen sink at the guy every time. So I got to be ready. And for someone like Kyvan, as good as he is, obviously he's got great coaches and his training situation is great. So I know each time is going to be very different. I think, that's something we've seen the last two times we wrestled. The matches were very different in terms of how each other scored and just the wrestling situations that we got in. So I expect tomorrow night to be a very different match than the first two times we wrestled.
What's your confidence level at, Colin?
Very high.
Very high. All right.
Yeah.
Where's your confidence level at, Kyvan?
Soaring.
Wow.
Soaring.
Love it.
I got a question, Kyvan. You mentioned that he won the last two meetings. Is this like an opportunity for you, because it's not a tournament format, right? Weeks ago you're wrestling Colin, and there's nobody
Right.
else before or after, so you can maybe spend more time addressing don't get ducked and these other things you're mentioning. And is it easier, not easier, but do you think it's a better situation where you can just prepare specifically for Colin to wrestle him and try to beat him?
Yeah, I think there's pros to it for sure. You're only focusing on one person, but the one person I'm focusing on, and that might be odd, is me. I can't focus on him. Like I just have to be a better wrestler. Period. And so the things that he exploited in the last two matches with me are areas of growth that will go into other matches as well. If I'm leaving my right arm and elbow up there, it's going to get exploited. If I'm not moving my feet, he's going to get to leg attacks. And so um, it doesn't just go for him. It's not like it's about him. It's about me making sure that with my wrestling and with my growth, I'm in the proper place. So it's nice to have this, like it's a one-off, one match, right? 6 minutes or less, and we go from there. So I feel good about that I was able to get on this card, right, and have this opportunity to compete against Colin again. But I definitely think the results will definitely be different, and maybe not the way that he thinks they're going to be different tomorrow night.
Awesome. Colin, Kyvan had a question for you. Do you have any questions for him?
I don't know. No, not right now. I'll think of one.
Sure.
So, Colin, you mentioned that
you can,
the two
you can
matches.
add me at Gadson Strong. If you think I'm up later, you can add me at Gadson Strong on all social medias except for TikTok. 'Cause, I'm not there yet, but
I don't
we'll
have
get
it
there.
either. It's
Yeah,
all right.
nobody needs TikTok.
Yeah. Colin, you mentioned that the two matches you guys have had have been different matches. It was a 5-3 match the first time. It was 12-5 the second time.
6-3.
6-3, is that right? Okay, thanks, Kyvan. So in any case, a little bit wider gap. Do you feel like you're widening the gap, or is it just a difference of two different kind of matches?
Choose your words
Um,
carefully.
maybe a little bit of both. I think, like I said, the situations were just different. The wrestling positions we got in were just different. I was able to capitalize on, two turns off my takedowns, and I think, that was just the difference. That was the situations we were in. So I think, maybe I widened the gap maybe in some other areas for myself. I've grown a lot in just my ability to stay focused throughout the match. So I wouldn't say maybe widening the gap too much wrestling wise, but widening the gap for me, personally, in just the way I was wrestling, the way I mentally stayed focused in the match, late into the match and stuff like that. How was that,
Kai,
Kevin?
Great. You're a professional.
awesome. Guys, we're just about time to wrap up here. I will give either of you the opportunity to ask either your opponent another question if you like. If not, we're free to wrap up.
Who's in your corner tomorrow, Colin?
We got Jaggers and Stever, two of the greatest.
You're not ringing Tervel this time, huh?
No, he's staying home. He just had his I don't know if he wants me telling the world, but he just had his baby daughter, so he's
Okay,
he's back at
congratulations
home.
to him.
Okay, one last question. Sorry, and this is a main event: Burroughs versus Zahid. If you had to predict a winner and a score, just for fun, could you do that? Colin, we'll start with you. We're gonna start with Kyvan. So I'll let you go first this time.
I was gonna say start with Kyvan. I
I'll
don't know.
start
This one's
first
really
tomorrow.
hard. Yeah, we'll see who finishes. Uh,
Oh yeah, you will.
I
You will
would
for
say,
sure. For sure.
I would say, I don't know. This is tough for me because me and Zahid are obviously really good friends, but it's very hard to pick against Jordan Burroughs. He obviously is very good at winning, in every circumstance. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bet against Jordan Burroughs. So I'm gonna go. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go Burroughs wins, but it's gonna be a very close match, very high scoring match. They both have incredible pace, obviously, but Jordan's ability to find a way to win is, I think, second to none. So
Fair enough. Kyvan?
I'd have to agree with those sentiments. Not the ones about who's going to be starting and finishing, but in terms of his score for the match, I think it's going to be high scoring. The pace is going to be incredible. I'm actually really glad Colin and I are the first match because we have the opportunity to go out there, put it on the line. Me score a lot of points, him score a little bit, and then we can go watch wrestling and enjoy that match because I think the card is really good. We get to watch Greco. We get to watch some rising college superstars. We get to watch the women's matches. So I'm really excited about going first and starting this card off with a bang and then getting to relax and enjoy the wrestling and the rest of the card.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate your time. You've been lively and a lot of fun. Best of luck to both of you guys tomorrow.
thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was fun. I hope everybody gets is not too chippy, but it's
nice when the confidence is really high for both guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to take a quick look at what we can expect. We got a highlight of these two guys before we get our next guest on. So let's roll it. So we got our next two athletes getting set in the booth. It's going to be our first women's match of the evening. We got a couple of them on docket. Pretty excited for this one, David.
Yeah, I am too. Kayla Miracle and Anna Godinez were in a World Championships bracket where they were each one match apart from facing off. We didn't get to see that match last year in 2019, but we get to see it tomorrow.
Who spoiled it?
Two people spoiled it. A woman from Mongolia and one from North Korea. So, that's how it went. But like I said, tomorrow we get this match.
It was gonna hopefully see it. Didn't get to then, but we are gonna get to see it now. Let's bring these young ladies on. It's Kayla Miracle and Anna Godinez. How y'all doing today?
Good, great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Excited to see you guys wrestle. I'm glad you're here. I just want to start with, given the crazy year we've had and probably unusual last 6 to 8 months, how have you grown as a wrestler in those, I don't know, tumultuous times, and maybe had to do things differently? And Kayla, we can start with you.
For me, quarantine was really good. We were just talking about it out there that we need to have fun and grow, and it was getting kind of too serious a little bit. So quarantine, I took about 8 months off or 5 months off from wrestling and came back and made a transition from Iowa to Arizona, and coaches are still great both places, but it's just a different vibe there, and the guys have a lot of fun. We play a lot of spike ball. So I've just really learned to love and enjoy the sport again. So I think that makes it easier to get better every single day.
Okay. Anna, same question to you. How have you maybe grown as a wrestler over his last 6, 8, whatever, how many months it's been?
For me, we really worked on strength and conditioning, and yeah, we took that time to relax, have fun with it. But yeah.
That's great. I'm curious. You guys have not had the opportunity to wrestle against each other yet. I want to know what you guys know about the other's style, or how you would describe the kind of competitor that you're about to wrestle against tomorrow. So let's start with you, Anna. How would you describe what you know about Kayla Miracle and her style?
I know she's a grinder. I know she goes for what she wants. So yeah.
Great. And Kayla, what do you know about Anna's style?
Honestly, up until today, I haven't watched much film. We haven't crossed paths or anything, so I haven't done enough studying or a ton of studying, but I have a lot of coaches, Lee Pritz, Mark Perry. They're doing the studying for me, and they're bringing me the pieces that I need. So picking up on certain tendencies, and I mean, I watched a little bit, and it looks a lot like most of the 62s. A lot of them are very similar, so a lot of power within it. So
Sure. I guess a similar question as you prepare for this event, how similar or different does it feel as getting ready for a normal event, which is usually a tournament, right? And you don't know who you're wrestling, and there's going to be a field, and we're going to figure it out later. Is it any different having like a sole focus as you move towards an event? And is there, and I guess you kind of answered this, Kayla, on your side, but is there any game, without giving it away, but is there any game planning and watching a film to get prepared for this? And Anna, we can start with you.
For me, there was not much watching or looking for her tendencies. It was more for me. I'm just getting better in general for myself. So yeah.
Kayla?
I mean, same. This match isn't the goal. I'm not trying to win on this card and call it quits. I'm trying to make an Olympic team. I'm trying to win an Olympic gold medal. So in practice all week, I had one workout where we looked at some tendencies, but every other practice we're looking at my deficiencies and where I need to improve. So that's kind of how I've been preparing, and having the experience of Final X 2 times, I know kind of what it's like having one opponent and having to look at that. And I'm going to have that same issue in April, and I don't know which one it's going to be. I'm going to know the night before because I'm in the finals, but it's kind of that same idea, and this is perfect for me. This is what I need to be preparing for, one day, 6 minutes at a time, because that's what's going to give me that Olympic team spot.
Anna, we're familiar down here with kind of the U.S. perspective on everything that's going on in the wrestling world, but I'm curious to know what conversations have been like in Canada around things like the World Championships, or now what's going to be the individual World Cup, things like that. What's the kind of Canadian wrestling team's response been to this COVID-19 season?
We've been really careful with COVID, and really staying in our own bubble. Um, with competition, it's pretty uncertain. We aren't sure what's happening yet, so everyone's just staying in their own bubble. With training, some clubs have been canceled and so on, but that's
Yeah,
all.
sure. Kayla, I want to follow up on something you said earlier. I think you said you took like 5 to 8 months, kind of. I think you said off. Like, were you just like off the mat and not even in the wrestling room, or was it like just not training like at a super high level?
Yeah, so March 14th was the last time I competed, and it was against my last match was against Michelle Fazari from Canada, and after that, I didn't wrestle in the finals, but I went back to Iowa. I got my ear drained, had a light workout. I thought things were going to go back to normal with this COVID stuff, but
Right. Sure.
then things started going south. Decided to go see family, go on trips like that, and so I was off the mat completely. That was the last time I touched it. Had my shoes on. I didn't even pack my shoes when I went to visit the families, even though I was at my dad's house, who is the head coach of a college. So there was a chance that I could potentially get on there, but stayed away, and I really enjoyed it. Made the move. Unfortunately, got COVID right when I moved.
Oh gosh.
So it was still a lot of staying away from training, cross training, things like that. And during quarantine, my little brother, he's a CrossFitter. My little sister, she works out a good bit. So we had a few things there and we did some family workouts, but nothing hard, nothing specific, just kind of staying moving. And then when we finally got into a room and things were figured out with the COVID aspect and Sunkissed and where we could train, that's when I started kicking it into high gear. I got into Neuroforce, which is the gym for my strength and conditioning with Coach Andre, and it's been 100%, like 100 miles per hour since then.
Fantastic. All right, ladies. One more question before we let you all get out of here, and it's about the main event: Jordan Burroughs-Zahid Valencia. You had to pick a winner. If you want to pick a score, that'd be great. But curious what you guys think. We'll let you go first this time, Kayla.
Zahid's my teammate. I love Jordan. I love his family. They're super great and supportive, but Zahid's my teammate, so I'm going to go with him, and the world could be surprised tomorrow.
All right, Anna, do you have a choice here?
I don't have a straight choice, but I think it's gonna really be a really good match that I'm excited to watch.
Awesome. Well, and I think you guys are going to be a really great match. I'm super excited to watch it. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today, and best of luck tomorrow.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
thanks.
All right, thank you, ladies. All right, so match 2, ladies, underway. We're going to get on with our next match, and we'll have a little teaser video for you now. That's Sammy Sasso going to be taking on Tyler Berger at 160 pounds. So we're gonna have our next 2 wrestlers getting in themselves ready in the booth here in a second, and it's interesting, right? Because we have a college wrestler versus a college coach, and Sammy Sasso currently, I guess, a sophomore at Ohio State, and Tyler Berger in his second year, I think, coaching with the Big Red.
Yeah.
Well, not the Big Red, that's Cornell, but
Yeah, these
Huskies.
these are guys that are just far enough apart in age that they haven't had the opportunity to compete before, but both super high level. So it's kind of one of those ideal matchups that we finally get to find out where these guys stack up.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about this one. I think we got them ready. It's Tyler Berger and Sammy Sasso. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Doing well, man.
Great, thanks for joining
Yeah.
us, Tyler. I got that little blonde spike going on. Nice stuff.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, I just kind of want to ask both you guys. Excuse me, and I know we talked to both of you just about a week or two ago on the show. But over this spring and summer, and I guess into the fall now, how have you grown as a wrestler, dealing with the unusual circumstances that have been COVID and the shutdown and not your normal getting with coaches and probably normal training partners? How has that helped you or hurt you, but how have you grown because of it? Tyler, we can start with you.
Just being the first time that I wasn't on a mat, I think was actually very beneficial for me. That just an extended period of time where even if I wanted to be on the mat, I couldn't. So I had to dive into other ways to improve. And so for me, that was a lot of lifting, a lot of watching film, and improving on my diet. So it actually went by the time that I actually got back into the room, my body was rested, it was stronger, I was faster and it was just like a reset. And so for the first time ever, I was fresh and hungry to get back in the room and I think it actually helped me a lot.
All right, Sammy, kind of same question for you. How did you grow as a wrestler in 2020, specifically the last 6 months?
Um, just finding new ways to improve, new ways to get better. You'll fall into routines where, you're working with Tervel or you're working with Jay or whomever on this certain move, and I think my offense was just coming together real well at the end of the year last year, and just finding pieces to put it together, and then you're pulled out of the system that you're in uh, to be the best, and then you got to adapt. And I think that's I did a good job of that, and just stayed the course, and felt like I never left really. Once I got back, I was smooth transition.
Sammy, when we talked to you about this matchup on the show recently, you said that you're going to be more focused on yourself than you are on Tyler's style. So I'm curious, just how familiar you are with his style, and what are some of the things that you're going to be focused on, whether that's preparing for him or just preparing yourself for this match between now and tomorrow.
Um, yeah, I just got to worry about myself and do what I do. But I know he's tough. I know he's gonna come out and scrap. Um, but I'm excited. I'm here to wrestle for 6 minutes. I'm gonna go out and do my thing.
And Tyler, you've had the opportunity as a coach to try to prepare a different athlete to wrestle Sammy. What are some of the things that you picked up on, and what are you going to be focused on heading into this matchup tomorrow?
I think when you think of Sammy Sasso, you think of his defense and you think of his cradles and some of his big time cradles. I think who's number one was a big one for him. And he's had, first year in the lineup and had a big win in Carver Hawkeye. And yeah, I mean, I think he's talented. And so I think he's really good. I just don't think guys are on my level as far as my attacks, my positioning. Just being older, being more mature, being more in bigger moments, I think. And so yeah, I think his defense is really good, but I'm gonna test him and I'm gonna see if he's ready to go for 6 minutes.
Tyler, how much Sammy's been through a year of NCAA wrestling. What is 4 years of NCAA wrestling? How much does that shape and change somebody and help them to grow as a wrestler? And how much did it help you grow?
Yeah, I mean, just as far as experience goes, emotionally, physically, you do, like I said, just as far as experience, it's I had to grind. Every year was different for me, and as far as what I was challenged with and how I was competing, what I was dealing with outside of the room, and having all those moments, being in the NCAA finals, being at the peak of collegiate wrestling. I've wrestled in the highest in all the top level events, Big Ten finals, NCAA finals. So I know what it's like to experience all those. I've wrestled in Carver Hawkeye. I've wrestled at Penn State, and so multiple times, and just having all that experience, and now being out of it. And I think I talked about that with you guys earlier last week or
Mhm.
so, of just seeing a different perspective as far as I'm no longer in that grind. I'm no longer in this bubble of Big Ten wrestling. I'm outside of it now. I'm coaching and I'm starting to develop my life outside of wrestling a lot more. And I'm not wrapped up. My identity is not wrapped up into being a wrestler 24/7. And so I think as far as that goes, it's actually made me a better wrestler. Because now when I come into the room, I'm locked in. There's no other distractions. And then when I'm out of it, I'm out. You know, I get to go out and I have my own life outside of wrestling. But it's helped in my development immensely.
Um, I got one more question for both of you guys. This leads to the main event, and I'm just gonna ask it. Right? Can you pick a winner and potentially a score in Burroughs versus Zahid tomorrow night? Sammy, we can start with you.
Um, geez. Well, he probably gonna say Burroughs, so give me Valencia.
I let you go first because I figured, but we'll let him answer. Tyler, you got to pick a winner.
Yeah, man, I got JB by 6 to 10.
JB by 6 to 10. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, guys, I'm super looking forward to your match. I know it's going to be exciting. It's at 160 pounds. Best of luck to both of you guys tomorrow. Thanks for chatting with us.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Thank you. All right. So that's 160 pounds. That's going to be a fun one. Sasso and Berger. Young versus the old a little bit.
I love the clash of styles and the clash of personalities there. It's going to be super fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be our third match of the night. And we'll move on. We got a little quick promo here for our fourth match. It's going to be Ali Ragan taking on Lauren Louive. And we'll roll the film. So this next match is going to go out at 59 kilos. Lauren Louive and Ali Ragan, and this is an interesting one because they trained together in the past. Ali's had better results typically, but Lauren came and won the senior nationals this past I don't know, maybe a month ago or something like that at 59 kilos. Wouldn't you say, David?
Yeah, two of the top women in the U.S. at 59, and I'm super excited to see how this one goes tomorrow.
Me too, and I think we have them on the line here. So we got Ali Ragan and Lauren Louive. Ladies, thanks for joining us. How you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I just kind of want to know. I've been asking most people this. Given given COVID and the circumstances that have followed, training's been different. Things have been a little bit different for probably everybody. Everybody's had to make adjustments. How have you grown as a wrestler, given the unfortunate circumstances we've been dealt with over the last 6 to 8 months? Ali, we can start with you.
I'd say just keep that baseline cardio. I feel like as long as I'm staying active and also besides that, just focusing time, watching film and becoming better off the mat as well. So I think that we were just given so much time that we've never had before, and you can take two kind of roads with it. So it's just as long as I'm doing things to better myself in wrestling and out of wrestling, and then it just gives me more time to focus on technique and break down stuff, because you're not going to be grinding every day when you're in quarantine. It's just so it kind of gives your body a reset there. And so yeah, it was good.
Great. Lauren, same question, kind of, how have you grown as a wrestler in the last 6 months?
I think I was able to, again, with all the time, we were able to focus on the areas that before that maybe we didn't have that time to. So, just slowing things down. So for me personally, I improved on my nutrition, and even strength training for what weights you had and stuff. I had weights in my trunk. So doing cardio, doing some weights in the trunk, finding fun stuff around the house to work out with and get stronger and practice that form and things like that. Even wrestling stance and motion, just literally any aspect or area that you wanted to improve on, you had the time.
You two are probably more familiar with each other than anybody else on this card. And so I'm curious how that familiarity is going to impact the match. You guys have trained together. You've competed against each other. So I just want to know your perspective on that. Lauren, what do you think? How will the familiarity with Ali impact the match tomorrow?
I'm excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I'm not the same wrestler I used to be, and I've grown and improved, and COVID was good to me. So I think it'll be an exciting match.
Ali, what do you think about that familiarity?
It's good. Obviously, we went through that Iowa program at the same time, and that grind of a program can definitely make you a better wrestler. So I think we both came out of there and we're at new locations. And so we're just obviously both getting better at wrestling and breaking that down too. So I think it's good.
You guys have wrestled in the past. You've wrestled at Final X. Allie, you've gotten the better, had the upper hand. Obviously, this maybe a month ago at Senior Nationals, Lauren, you went out and won the bracket. Allie, is there a sense of something to prove or something to get back with the match here over the girl who won your weight class?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that losing first round at Senior Nationals didn't bum me out or definitely light a fire under my ass. But I feel like from there you can only take it and learn. It'd be different if I was like super depressed or anything. You know, we're so close to the ultimate Olympic trials and Olympics that you don't really have time to be sad or like upset about something like that. It's like, hey, move on. It's time to just get better and just continuing that. So.
And Lauren, I'm curious about your perspective coming off that event. You had a title at Senior Nationals, kind of dramatic match in the finals and big move. You won. How do you feel about that performance, and how do you feel about potentially building on that performance tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the win. Um, I wasn't necessarily looking for that big move or anything like that, but yeah, I just want to keep improving with my wrestling, and you know, tomorrow isn't necessarily about me versus Allie versus me, anything like that. To me, it's about me improving as a wrestler and continuing down my path and my journey. And so, to me, it's not about this other person. It's about me continuing in my
Yes,
success and doing the things that I want to do and competing the way that I want to compete.
sure. And maybe you partly answered this question. I'm going to ask it to both of you, but you wrestled at Final X before, so you've had a similar experience against the same person, right? Where it's like not the tournament that you're getting thrown into with 8, 12, 16, however many ladies. I'm training for one other match or two in the case of Final X, but how similar or different is this in preparing for Final X against the same opponent? And Lauren, you can go for this time first.
How similar or different is it than training for the same opponent? Can you?
How
What'd you
similar or
say?
different is training for this event as training for Final X?
Uh, you know, uh, it's a little bit different because Final X, you're competing for the world team spot. To
Hmm.
who's going to go represent the U.S. at the World Championships. For this it's a great thing to keep us to moving forward while there's not a lot of wrestling events happening. It is the Olympic year, but there's not as much on the line as far as say like a spot. Maybe it's more pride or something like that, but really I mean, this is just for both of us to get better and to continue doing the thing that we love to do and continue training, and really it's helping both of us and we're both helping each other continue to chase our Olympic path here, getting us ready for trials.
Yeah. And same question to you, Allie. How compare this to training for Final X?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say along with Lauren, I agree with that. And I just feel like who knows how many competitions, like who knows the next time we're going to be able to go overseas and compete against those foreign opponents, you know? I'd like to be like, hey, like looking forward to like the Italy ranking tournament in January, but who knows if that's even going to be a thing, you know? So as wrestlers, we love to compete. So this is just another opportunity for us to compete and just get better and do what we love to do ultimately.
Awesome. One more question. It's about the main event, right? Jordan Burroughs is taking on Zahid Valencia tomorrow. If you had to pick a winner, could you guys do it? Could you pick a winner for us? Allie, we'll let you go first.
Oh gosh. Well, Zahid's my teammate now, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Zahid.
All
If
right.
he wasn't my teammate, I might say differently.
I love your
Don't kill
honesty.
me, Zahid. Yeah.
Under your breath. Don't kill me, Zahid. Lauren, how about you?
I'm gonna have to go with JB.
JB. That's what I figured. All right. All right, ladies. Well, we're super excited to watch you guys throw down tomorrow. It should be a great match, and we can't wait to see it. Thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, 59 kilos. That's gonna be a good one. I'm excited. And I tell you, Lauren's got an air of confidence about her, and she's like, I've changed, and quarantine was good to me, and everything else. So
Yeah, it's one of those things that when you watch senior nationals, you can just see some of these people that are coming through the bracket looked like quarantine had been good to them, looked like they had really been locked in, and Lauren was one of those people. So very excited to see how that match goes down tomorrow, and if it's any different than what we've seen in the past. I think it could look a little different.
We'll find. Time will tell.
Mhm.
All right, let's get ready for our next match. It's gonna be our Greco match of the evening. Alan Vera is gonna be taking on D'Angelo Hancock, and we've got a little teaser for you here. So here for you. Let's roll the video. All right, so moving on, we're gonna have our Greco match of the evening. Really excited for this. I mean, this is a big super match, right? You have like two of the best guys at different weights coming together to collide, Alan Vera and D'Angelo Hancock.
And it just so happens that they're not only two of the best, but they're also two of the most exciting to watch in terms of style. I think we're going to see some fireworks. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, let's bring them on. Alan Vera and D'Angelo Hancock. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. All right, D'Angelo, I got to start with you because you you came on the show a couple weeks ago and we chatted, and you had a very what's the word? You were very confident. You had a very sure answer. Do you still feel the same way? What do you think is going to happen?
Tech, period. Tech fall.
Tech fall. Okay. Alan, when was the last time you were tech falled?
I don't keep it about memory in my brain. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
What, does D'Angelo seem overconfident, in your opinion?
It's good because he can get a back experience.
Yeah. All right. I'm kind of curious too. We've been asking most of the competitors. I don't know how has your training changed, or how have you grown over the last 6 months, where things have been really unusual and not probably as consistent as they have been in the past. And you can start with you this time, Alan.
I'm the kind of guy I like to say the truth. Okay. With this time, the coronavirus, the COVID-19, you say the last 6 months was really difficult for me. Why? Because I don't have the Greco guys in my town. So in Jersey City, I had to train with the freestyle guys, the folk style guys. I had my special training partner, so probably look like crazy, but it's true. Is the dummy?
The dummy?
He's a heavy dummy. Yes, sir.
When you were training with the freestyle and the folk style guys, were you training freestyle and folk style, or were you training Greco?
No, I'm training freestyle and folk style.
Oh wow! So you only got to train Greco with the dummy.
Yep. And they helped me a little bit, so they said, "Okay, I can give you a little help. So let's do something Greco."
All right.
Man, D'Angelo, you compete more than just about anybody else in the United States. I don't care if it's freestyle or Greco. You're always competing, and this last 6 months just hasn't been an option. How has that felt for you, kind of being forced to take some time off competition?
It's definitely hard. My preference of wrestling is I like to be out there. I like to be actively in the fire consistently back to back, and so it's difficult. You know what I mean? I've tried to set up flights. For me personally, I like to train in Scandinavia, as a lot of people knows. Those flights couldn't happen because of this COVID, right? So now we're forced to be home, and even the Olympic Training Center got shut down because of the COVID situation, right? So now it's even these spaces to fit in are even smaller, right? So we're getting in at BJJ gyms, we're getting at MMA gyms, and we're getting at places that I've never trained before, honestly. And it's a whole different feel to it, whole different environment. You get these guys coming in BJJ, they want to roll different. You got to respect their space, and so that's a whole different element to it. But we're trying to roll with the punches. I'm thankful for the village I do have, and we got a group of people who committed to me as well as I'm committed to them. And I come in when they need me and when I need them. And we're getting a job done at MMA gyms and where we can. You know what I mean? It's the best we can do.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Alan, you did have the opportunity to compete at senior nationals and looked good from our perspective. You won that tournament. How did you feel about your performance at senior nationals? And also, how did it feel wearing USA on your singlet at a senior nationals event?
Well, let me start it from the last. I'm really grateful for US. This is a country where they opened the door for me, so they trust in me. They give me the opportunity for competing for them. So I have to deserve this, you know. So this is a great country. So I have so many good friends. So they living here. I take it something really personal. So it's really easy. Just go forward, wrestle, and do my the best. About my performance the last U.S. National, I don't like to say I'm bad. Uh, let's see the 40-50%. Why I really explained what happened with my trainings or my partners. Yeah, man. Yes, Mark, like this. It's 40-50.
Okay, I want 100.
Yep. This is the last US. Okay. So since until now, it's a lot of change, man. Trust me.
So, Alan, if you were at 40 or 50% at senior nationals, where do you think you are now?
Right now, Tracy. So close your eyes. 70, 80.
Is that enough to beat? Is that enough to beat D'Angelo?
You need 150 for me. 150
no,
at
no, no,
least.
no. Believe me, I know this guy for so many years. So this is the reason because I took the fight. You know, so I know this guy, so I know who he is. I get it.
Do you feel like
When
you
go
have?
to the war,
Go ahead.
when you go to the war, you have to go for won the match, for won the war. I don't
You
come in
said
for lose. I'm coming for winning my match. Okay.
you said
And
this
this
is
is
why I
enough.
took the match. You feel like you know enough about D'Angelo and the way he wrestles, and are confident you can beat him even if you're not at 100%.
Oh yeah, I don't need 100% for this guy right now.
D'Angelo, your thoughts on that?
Answer, man. Come on.
Man, oh
Give your
boy.
picture to him.
Oh boy, just wait. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good then.
What have
Oh,
you?
I need at
everyone
least
know that.
150%.
You have to do
No one's
something
ever
more, bro.
wrestled me 80% ever.
Okay, so everything have the beginning and the first one. Okay.
D'Angelo, what have you felt in those practice room goes wrestling Alan? That what do you expect this match to look like tomorrow? I know you said tech, but what have you felt in the room that makes you confident in that prediction?
Alan's long, right? So Alan has these long arms. He has these long legs. He'll be very easy for me to off balance, right? And the thing is I'm moving so fast. Alan may be a smaller guy, right? But I'm moving so fast. He can't keep up with me at 90. It's not happening. There's no way. He's too long, so the off balance is gonna be coming left and right. Watch. I told you this.
Hey guys, it's something what he say and something what he can do. Two different things.
Alan, who do you think's faster, you or D'Angelo?
He's already told you I'm faster than him. So he said I'm the long. So
Hey.
what I can say for him, so I'm faster, I'm long. So I make the interview last night. So and they asked me what kind of wrestler I am. I like to say sneaky. Okay, and he's already know that. So he know he can. If
I
he
know
made a
you remember
mistake,
in the
he's already
interview
know.
I said that
He's
live
already
today
know.
equals sneaky style.
Oh,
Ready
you see,
for
he's
it.
already follow me. Okay, so we are here for this, man. So you already know who you are, so you remember that. Okay.
Oh boy, you guys are getting me freaking fired up for this match. Okay, one
See
more
what it could be
question.
happening.
Actually, yeah, one more question. We'll let you guys go, unless you guys want to keep arguing. Hey, how about this? Do you
Well,
guys have a question?
I mean, one thing he does know, one thing Alan does know, is do not body lock with me. That's one thing.
Who is the only guy here in US they don't scare the position with you and get a score on you? Tell the truth right here now.
I give you it. You'll go there. You'll go there. But you know in the match you ain't doing it. It's not happening.
It's not happening. So the best thing is I have the couple, I have the 1,000 people they watching right now. So and they are available for watching tomorrow night. The table is there.
Keep watch and watch.
The food is served.
The table is there. The table is set. The food's ready to be served. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Does either of you have a question for the other guy?
I give you opportunity. Go forward the first time in your life with me. Come on.
What's my most dangerous move set? What are you staying away from the most? He ain't saying this one.
The best move for you. It's really hard to find the man because I didn't see that.
Oh, I don't. Okay, I ain't got the best move.
No. So let's be honest. So this is one guy. So I think more than move is the Tracy. He's already. I know this guy for more than 4 years. So and this is one guy what I see he growing up a lot. So the tournaments or a couple matches, and I think he learned what is the wrestling means. It's something more like hard wrestle really hard. It's something more. And he's already started to understand what is this game.
All right, we'll give you an opportunity.
Hey, I have my question.
That's what I was going to say. We'll give you an opportunity. Of course.
Okay.
Your turn.
Hey, Tracy. You say you could be following me, right?
Right.
Okay. Let me ask. What technique you think you can get it for putting my back on the mat, man?
What technique? Every technique in my arsenal I could put you to your back with.
Come on, guys. You see that guy take a deep breath
Every
and
technique.
sinking. Take a
From
deep breath
arm
and
throw to
sinking.
arm
Okay,
drag,
let me see how you can get it.
Trapped arm to the head toss, to the hip toss, to the front headlock. All of them. Pending combinations.
Okay, you are ready to answer.
I love the banter. I love the back and forth. I love the confidence on both sides. Both of you are believe you're going to win, and that makes for a super exciting match. I can't wait for it, guys. Tomorrow we're going to get it. We're going to find out. We're going to get an answer. Thank you, both of you fellas, for chatting with us today, and best luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, David, I would say that's been the most lively. Kai even got things lively at the beginning with Colin. This was pretty lively.
Yeah, I mean these are two true number ones, and these are two guys that act like true number ones, and they feel like true number ones, and that's all you can ask for in a match like this.
Yeah, D'Angelo says he's gonna tech him, and Vera laughs at that.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great stuff. They both are, they just dismiss each other, and I mean, I think I hear him. I hear him out in the hall.
They're
They're
right
still
there.
going
I
at
hope
it,
they
right?
got security. It's gonna be ugly. No, it's gonna be awesome tomorrow. It goes down, and we're gonna get to our co-main event: Anthony Echemendia versus Evan Henderson. We got a little video to get things kicked off for that one, so let's roll it. All right, and so we're going to pick up with our co-main event of the evening. Evan Henderson will be taking on Anthony Echemendia. Very excited for this bout. That'll be going on at, I believe, 67 kilograms. And, gentlemen, thanks for joining us today. How y'all doing?
Good. I'm doing good.
Awesome. So it's an interesting situation. Both you guys have essentially this year come into new training situations. Evan, you went from you're now up at Cornell in the Spartan Combat RTC, and Anthony, you're training at Ohio State for the first time now. How are your situations different than your previous situation? We'll start with you, Evan. How is training in Cornell different than training in, I guess, Hoboken and training with the NYC RTC?
Well, going from the city and having all those other resources there, and having a lot of different foreign aspects coming into the room was awesome. But changing it to a more royal setting, and being out in Ithaca and having like Coach Mike Gray, and then we have Yanni, Vito, Kyle Dake, Josh Saunders, a lot of, and that's just to name a couple of really, really good, talented guys that we have in the room that are grinding with us, that we're able to grind with us right now. So, as far as, I mean, it's like comparing two different animals kind of deal, but obviously I like both. But right now I'm in this situation with this, with the Spartan RTC, and it's awesome. So,
Sure. And Anthony, right? I don't even know what your exact training situation was like in Cuba, but maybe compare your training situation at Ohio State from what your training situation was like when you were in Cuba.
Well, I mean, it's way different because at Ohio State we have so many resources, so many conditions, like really nice weight room. We don't have that kind of stuff in Cuba. But I think that in both countries, I'm doing really good, man. I'm in the best spot right now at Ohio State. So many good training partners: Sammy Sasso, Jordan Decatur, Malik, Dylan D'Amelio. All those lightweights, they're all helping me a lot in my preparation. And in Cuba, I was one with the best wrestlers in the world, Olympic champions, world champions, training with them every single day. So I feel pretty confident at Ohio State too. I think they're doing a really good job. So it's
Yeah,
way different. I don't even know how to explain it, but you know,
sure.
Ohio State is doing a good job.
Evan, you're coming off a finals appearance at Senior Nationals in October. That included a win over Jaden Ironman. How did you feel about that performance, and how prepared do you feel going into this match tomorrow with Anthony?
um, about the performance is like, I did my job. Everybody was like hyping him up. I'm like, okay, it's Jaden Ironman. He's just another wrestler. Not to say he's not good or anything like that, but it was. It. I mean, I know how to wrestle that. I've been in those situations. It's like those are like nobody likes going low ankle with him because he usually scores out of it. So it's like I was in a low ankle situation with him, and okay, score. And then there was another one where I got up underneath him and put him over for 4, and that pretty much still deal with the match. And it's like, okay, match over. Let's get like, and then that was what going into the second, and then probably just keep patient, just keep your foot down, but you don't have to do too much, but just keep going. And sure enough, I mean, I was close to a tech. I thought I teched him because I thought there was a situation where I thought I got a score and another score where the refs only went 2 with it. So I'm like, okay. And then towards the end of the match, just got another push out. But I did what I had to do. And then how I felt overall, though, I felt a little slow, especially coming off of that layover. Last time I wrestled was in France in January. And so the first 3 matches was like trying to shake off that rust a little bit, trying to figure out, okay, do I know how to wrestle? Since you haven't had competition for a long, long time. I mean, it's a completely different situation from being in the room in wrestling matches and then actually putting on the singlet and going out and doing it in front of people or for real.
Mhm.
So uh, it was good. And then towards the end of that day, the match against Mathers, and then Jaden, like, okay, turned it up, and then just didn't get the job done in the finals the next day. Didn't necessarily strategize or put what I had to do to Lirez, and commend Lirez for doing what he did. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, what do you know about Evan? Whether it's what you knew before you took the match or since you've taken the match, do you know much about his style? Did you watch any film to specifically get prepared for him?
I mean, I know this guy. I have been watching videos of him. I saw him at the U.S. Open. I also saw him at I think Bill Farrell. He did a really good job there. And he's older than me. He has been wrestling for a long time. He has beaten a lot of good guys in the United States. Of course, I know this guy. So I'm
So,
ready. I feel ready.
do you typically watch a lot of? It sounds like maybe you always have your eye on guys that you might wrestle one day. Is that the case?
Yeah, I say I like watching wrestling, even if you're not my weight class. I know most of the wrestlers for sure.
Evan, have you had a
I knew
chance?
about him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I knew about him.
Okay, yeah. Evan, similar question, right? Did you watch film to get to? And he hasn't wrestled, competed in over a year, and it was against high school kids. But did you watch any film or whatnot to get ready for this match?
A little bit. Obviously, we watched the Saunders match because I mean we have Saunders in the room every day, and we were like obviously picking his brain and everything like that. And, how's he feel? Blah blah blah. But as far as like going back and watching like his Fargo performances and stuff like that, I mean, I I'll put it this way: he's a man. He was a man amongst children there,
Yeah.
and it does it really say much to his ability. I mean, like he beat the crap out of those guys, in my opinion, right? So does it really make sense to like watch it? I'm like, yeah, this is why it's exciting. It's like, okay, let's see what this guy's got, because we don't necessarily know. We only we've only watched him against, like we could call him I mean, he's really, really good, but he's only wrestled necessarily high school kids. It doesn't mean that's not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just like, okay, this is a good prospect. Let's see let's and now you brought us together, and then let's see what's going on. Let's see where this guy stacks up, and see where I stack up against him. And vice versa. So
Yeah, absolutely.
And Anthony, that's the big question, right? And I'm curious for your perspective on that. We've seen you just tear through the high school scene in the U.S., but we haven't gotten to see you in a college match or in a senior level match, which you have tomorrow. What about your training makes you feel prepared for your senior level debut, and how are you feeling heading into your first senior level match in the U.S.?
I feel good, and I think that this is a great opportunity for me to demonstrate my talent because I'm wrestling a good wrestler. You know what I mean? I wanted a challenge for myself, and I think this is the best opportunity for me to show everyone what I got, and so people stop doubting myself. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I feel good. I'm motivated. I have been training hard. We started training like 15 days ago at the main wrestling room, Cavalli Center, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
This
we're
is gonna be
excited too.
fun.
One more question, guys. It's about the main event, which you guys wrestled right before. Jordan Burroughs versus Zahid Valencia. If you had to pick a winner and maybe a score, could you do it? Anthony, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I think both wrestlers are amazing. I like Zahid Valencia's style, but Jordan Burroughs is my favorite wrestler, so
You're picking
I don't
Jordan.
have nothing to say about it. I'm going with Jordan.
All right, fair enough. Probably not a bad pick. Evan, same question.
I'm gonna have to go with JB again as well. Not to knock the heat or anything like that, but you can't knock the king off, But score wise, like I'm hoping it's a high scoring match. It's like I want to see doubles from both guys. I want to see fours. I want to see some guts. I want to see what these guys. What like Jordan's not cutting any weight, so he's getting down a little bit. So I'm hoping for like an entertaining match. I don't want none of this patty cake 1-1-2, or I know it's not going to be a boring match by any means, but I want it to be a high scoring match, with both guys scoring, because I really want to. We need to entertain the country right now, with the world of wrestling and stuff like that. So let's get it out there,
Yeah, high score. I'd say 15-14. I don't care who wins.
15-14. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna go. I was gonna go a little bit more modest, like a 10. Let's say a 10-8.
10-8 would be amazing.
Yeah,
15-14
but like
is a fantasy.
something scary where maybe Zahid has 2 4s, or something
Oh.
like that. That 2 4s to Jordan's like 5 takedowns. That would be like, okay, action, but he got a 4. Oh, he got another 4. Is he gonna do it again? It comes down to the last 20 seconds or something like that, where they're getting ready and somebody and I would, yeah, something like that.
You're getting me
That'd
all
be fun.
kinds of fired up now.
I like that.
You're getting me all fired
Yeah.
up.
I like that.
2 4s versus 5 takedowns. It would be something. But it can't happen until you guys do it, and we're super excited for your match. Evan and Anthony, thanks so much for spending a couple minutes with us today, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a really fun one. We're going to, learn a lot, by watching these two wrestle.
Yeah, so many question marks. I think it's like Anthony said. I think Henderson is a perfect question mark match. What are we going to see from both these guys tomorrow? I don't know. It's like the biggest mystery match, and I think everybody's going to be pretty locked into that one.
Yeah, another big mystery match is our main event. Jordan Burroughs and Zahid Valencia at 185 pounds, I think 9 years apart, something like that, and 26 pounds in weight class. But we're going to get that thing going soon, and here we're going to check out a little video to get you guys ready before we talk to both of these guys. Let's roll it. Oh, man, so we've had a chance to talk to 12 of the 14 wrestlers, and there's down to just 2. Of course, the main event of the evening, Jordan Burroughs, one of the greatest wrestlers ever out of the United States, and Zahid Valencia, who's becoming one of the greatest of his generation. I think 9 years apart, 20-something pounds in weight class apart, but very, very excited for this one.
Yeah, obviously, Burroughs the king, but he wanted a true challenge. He got one here. Zahid Valencia, I can't wait to hear what these guys have to say.
Yeah, let's bring him on. Jordan, Zahid, how you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
I'm well. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming down here, guys, and chatting with us. All right, Zahid, I'll start with you. Do you remember, like, your first, I don't know, introduction to Jordan, or when you realized who he was, whether it was high school, college, or when he was on the senior level?
I mean, I don't remember exactly when the first time, but just like watching wrestling over the years, him winning nationals, and then obviously going into the senior world circuit and just blowing everyone away then. So, I mean, he was on everyone's radar. How can you not know who he was,
And if we could go, if I could go back and talk to like 11-year-old Zahid and say, hey, in 10 years, you're going to wrestle him in a match, and people are going to be excited about it. I don't know. What would the 11-year-old Zahid think?
I mean, I would have said that was awesome, but I didn't think it would happen, obviously, being that young at the time. So, I mean, it's crazy that it's actually happening, and it's obviously a great opportunity for me.
Sure. Similar question, Jordan. I don't want to say when did he come on your radar, because when he's a little kid, he's not on your radar. But when did you
for sure.
hear about this young little phenom coming up out of California? Or, roughly when do you remember hearing about him?
I don't remember exactly. I do remember the first time I really got to spend any time around those guys was back in, what was that, 2014? I think it's 2014. We had a training camp that summer before heading over to Tashkent for the World Championships at ASU. So we were down in Phoenix or Tempe, and Zeke had just taken the job, left USA Wrestling to go to Arizona State, and he brought a bunch of the best recruits from all over the country in for that training camp as well. So that was really the first time that I got to kind of be introduced to these guys and just spend some time around them. And I had obviously heard a lot about them just from watching them. At this point, it's such a different introduction to these young athletes now because they're greater at a very early age. Plus, also with you guys, you're really introducing them to the world younger. So, I knew about Bosco from Pico, and obviously the Valencias and Kate Olives and all these guys. At that time, they were just a really great squad. So I just remember hearing about them and then finally getting a chance to meet them and just being curious about what their careers would unfold to be. So it was pretty cool.
Man, this match has so many question marks. And Jordan, on Twitter, you outlined a scenario where Zahid's sprinting at the end, and maybe he gets the score, but there's still like a 7-point gap. Is that how you feel about the score? Is that how you feel about the score of this match? How do you see this thing going?
Honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a really fun match. Listen, I've wrestled Zahid in the past, and it wasn't easy, so I know it's not gonna be an easy match. He's elusive. He's hard to get to. He's strong. He's long. He's hard to finish on. But I'm just confident in my ability. So I think that if I can really, I'm gonna have to make mid-match adjustments because I don't know what he's gonna throw at me. I know how he wrestles other people, but it's hard for me to watch other guys that I'm gonna have potentially as opponents and then say, okay, I'm going to break down this film because this is exactly how they're going to wrestle me. Because I'm a good athlete. So they're not just going to go out crazy and shoot on me because they know I'm going to run corner and reattack. So I think that I'm going to have to see what his plan is going to be for tomorrow and then just kind of break down that strategy within the 6-minute match. So I don't know if he's going to stay down and away. I don't know if he's going to try to collar tie. I don't know if he's going to actually come out firing and shooting a lot of shots. So really, for me, I'm going to have to wait to see what that first minute is like, and then I'm going to go to work.
All right, that's good to know. So Zahid, when you saw that tweet, when you saw the 9-2 after the sprint, what did you think when you read that tweet, and how do you see the score going tomorrow?
Well, yeah, when
He
I
was
first
probably
started
excited.
reading it, I was
He was
like,
excited
yeah, I was
listening
like,
to it. I bet he was like, "Oh, this,
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
win.
like,
I'm
where
gonna."
is this
Oh no,
going?
I lost.
I knew there was gonna be a punchline in there somewhere. So I just was reading it. I was like, wow, this makes me feel really good. Look in the crowd, it's like, oh, it's coming. I'm gonna get this takedown. And then obviously seeing the 9-2 at the end. That was funny to me. But I mean, I think the score could be anything. I mean, if we let it fly and just go and take a bunch of shots, I mean, it could be potentially a high scoring match. If we're both respectful of each other's, offense, it could be, a 2-1 match, something like that. So it just
No,
depends how we both feel.
not
No,
possible.
no,
Not possible.
not
I don't.
possible.
I want you. I just want you to wrestle. I'm gonna wrestle tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
wrestle.
not. I
I'm
want to
gonna
win,
bring it. I
obviously,
don't.
but I'm not as interested in winning as I am in just like having a good time and letting it fly.
Yeah.
So I think that
Well, yeah.
for
I'm.
let's just wrestle. Let's wrestle. Like let's
Yeah, yeah.
scrap. Let's
No,
see.
I
Let's
know.
let's
Yeah,
see.
for
Let's
me,
see
I
what we
mean, I
have.
don't really change my style for anyone. So I'm gonna go out there and just put up a bunch of points if I can. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see.
When Jordan says he's not interested in winning, I don't know why, but some part of me doesn't believe that. I know you want to win, but
Well,
like,
I always want to win. But I'm saying you wrestle when you're thinking about the victory. You wrestle a little cautiously.
sure.
In your preparation, you're like, okay, I'm going to feel this guy out. Okay, I could have taken that, but I don't really want to. Okay, if I get here or wrestle through this position, it might cost me some points. As opposed to just, I mean, you're never just going to let it fly completely. It doesn't mean wrestling crazy, right? We're not Joe Colon and Seth Gross here,
Yeah.
but we are going to make it a respectable event in which people want to come and see it. I've seen a lot of main events that have had disappointing finals because guys didn't really let it fly. I think about Jo and Nolf. I think about Nickel and Ringer. I think about Dake and Chamiso. Like they weren't really high scoring matches. So people were like, man, that was a great matchup. You got a great defense, great offense, but these guys aren't really letting it fly. So I hope that tomorrow we can just go out there and put on a show for the people. I think that's what gets people fired up. And
Yeah,
Zahid, that's what gets you
100%. That's
back
what.
on another card like this moving forward. So
Yeah,
if we
that's
can
what
just let
people
it
want to
fly
see.
and put up a lot of points and score,
Yeah,
we'll be the
100%. I
people's
agree.
favorite.
Yeah.
Jordan, you've repeatedly said something along the lines of like wrestling's a young man's game. It's it's a young man's sport.
You calling me old?
Compared to him, yeah, right. And
Yeah.
compared to most wrestlers who are the greatest on the planet, right? You're obviously on the older end, but still, we know you still can do it.
Yeah, I feel you.
But that said, like, are you an anomaly, or take that what you said, this being a young man's game, and apply it to this match?
I don't think so. I really think wrestling has become a young man's sport because there have been multiple opportunities for athletes to go into more lucrative fields, specifically MMA. You look at, Ed Ruth and Darian Caldwell and Sean Bunch and Aaron Pico and Kamaru Usman, Daniel Cormier, all these guys, they've left because of what laid ahead of them on the other side. Wrestling's not sexy. It's not a glamorous sport. So people don't stay in it for a long time because there's just not a lot of money to be made. But I am the first generation of athlete to make a career out of this, like a legitimate living wage, and then go on to find success with a good following, with marketing and brand awareness, with sponsorships and endorsements, their own signature shoes. Like I'm really the first of that generation, and I can usher in people like Zahid. Congratulations on your new shoe, by the way, bro. I saw that
Thank you.
on
Yeah,
Instagram
appreciate
today. But
that.
I think it's just a new era. So guys aren't gonna leave. Listen, as much as I would love to have celebrities sitting ringside and make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a purse every single fight, I don't want to get kicked in the head or punched in the face. So wrestling is my specialty. It's my craft, and I don't have anything to prove by moving to a different field. I've been able to make a great living wage, take care of my family, travel the world, and meet my best friends through the sport of wrestling. So I think that although I may seem old to the average wrestling fan, if you look around sports, period, most of these guys competing at a high level are my age or older. Um, Steph Curry, James Harden, Kevin Durant, all of us are the same age. We're within 6 months of each other. No one's asking Steph, James, or KD when they're going to retire. So, I just really look at those guys that are doing it at a high level. Serena Williams, Roger Federer, LeBron James, Tom Brady. They're still competing. They're still making it happen. If they can do it, I can too.
Zahid, a lot of people think Jordan wouldn't take this match unless he knew he was going to win. And he talked about, the 9-2 and all that. Do you think he's overestimating you? Underestimating?
Yeah, I do think he's underestimating me, but I mean, I obviously think in his mind he thinks he's gonna win. I mean, you don't really take a match unless you have it in your heart that you're gonna win when you go out there. But I mean, I have a lot of things coming for him. I think, yeah, it's my arsenal, my length, my ability to just fake and move around. So I'm gonna be throwing everything.
Do you have it in your heart, Zahid, that you're going to win? Do you truly believe you're going to win tomorrow?
100%. The way I see it is, I want to become a world Olympic champ at 86 kilos, and in order to do that, I should be able to beat, the champ at the lower weight class, at 74 kilos. So for me, this is just a match that I need to win, that I want to win, and moving forward, just another stepping stone into my career.
Zahid, I think everybody's pretty familiar with Jordan Burroughs' strengths. I'm curious, what do you see as a vulnerability where you could take advantage and score?
Just that he hasn't seen anyone like me. I've watched a lot of his matches, and me being just a little bigger, a little, stronger, longer, that kind of thing, that type of movements, I don't think he's felt. So I think that's something that I'm gonna be able to take away from the match.
What do you think, Jordan? Have you felt anybody like Zahid, you think?
Listen, everyone says that, right? Kyle Dake was going around saying that same exact thing all summer. No one felt this type of speed and athleticism. Like, that's innately, we're all competitors, so we're all going to say that. You never felt anyone like this. I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm long, I'm tall. But the bottom line is you got to wrestle. This is why matches happen. So, there are many intricacies and nuances within the wrestling match that will expose themselves, more than just sheer physical differences. I think that I'm gifted athletically. That is something that I will never deny. But one thing that has always accompanied my athleticism, if not outdone it, is my grit, my will, and my determination. And so when things get dicey, my heart and my desire to win and get my hand raised is always something that I don't ever think has been matched by anyone I've ever competed against.
Zahid, when was the last time you were double legged in a match?
In a match. I don't know. I mean, you guys probably know. You guys do all the
I
stats and
I don't know. I
everything.
was curious if you knew. I don't know, honestly.
No, I don't know. For me, not the top of my head, but probably never. No, I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
you're good at getting guys to one leg or another. I don't know the last time I've
Yeah,
seen
I
you
just
get
kind
double
of
legged.
change hips and stuff, but I mean, I get double legged by Anthony in practice, but you know,
All right,
That's
Jordan,
good
you
to
think you
know.
can double
Thank
leg
you.
him? Huh?
yeah.
He's tough to double, bro. In our previous practices together, and then also just watching him wrestle Miles and Nate Jackson and Aaron Brooks and all of these guys that have quality double legs. Like, he's tough to double. does a really good job wrestling with his hips. He defends well from his knees. So he's not a guy that you can just lower your level from open space and just get a clean double on. He's too strong and too athletic from that position. So I'm just gonna have to dice him up, marinate him, get him uncomfortable, push him to deep water, and things will start to open up late for me.
All right. Zahid, what would a win here? Would it mean to you? Is it just nothing, or is it like is it a big deal? Is it something?
I mean, obviously it's a big deal. I mean, this is one of the biggest matches that we've had, and especially in my career, knowing where I want to take this, the direction I want to have in my career, my wrestling career, eventually making an Olympic team, and winning gold. So it's huge. It's a huge thing for me to get a win.
We've been asking everybody else to predict a winner of the match, the headline match, you guys. But I'm curious from you guys' perspective, is there another match on this card that you're looking forward to checking out the most? Let's start with you, Zahid.
Yeah, I mean the co match, I think that one's gonna be pretty fun, so I think a lot of points could be put up on that match for sure. They're both big double leg lifts, crotch lifts, stuff like that. So I'm excited to see that. And then also the Greco match. Not that I don't watch too much of Greco, but I know who those guys are. Hancock, Vera. So seeing Vera at nationals, really, he looks like a strong big dude. So I'm excited to see that one too.
Any of them stand out for you, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, Burger Sasso is the match that I want to see most. I've been training hard with Tyler Berger, so he's my guy. So we're pretty much doing everything together. As I spend this last year in Nebraska, he's the guy that's going to be stuck to me throughout this process. So if I make the Olympic team, he's going to be my training partner down in Tokyo. Everywhere I go, he's going to go. So when I train with him, I want to make sure that he's actually retaining a lot of the stuff that we work on, but also he's just been really helpful for me, man. He's got an amazing style and technically he's very, very savvy. So he's been a guy that I've taken a lot from over these last couple of months of him and I working together really closely since James's departure. So I'm looking forward to it. I think he's got some good stuff and he's really going to do a good job and put on a show tomorrow.
All right. Last thing, I'm going to give you each the opportunity to ask the other guy a question. So I'll let you stop and think here for a second. And whenever you're ready, Jordan, we'll let you go first.
Uh, That's a good question. That's a really good question. That's a tough one. I would say I would bring Zeke into this. What's Zeke? Zeke spent a lot of time with me in my
I
corner
like this.
throughout my Olympic and World Championship run early in my career. What's Zeke saying about me in regards to this match? How is he getting you pumped up, and what's he telling you in terms of getting you mentally prepared for how to beat me? If you want to share that with me, because I'm
Um,
always curious of
yeah,
like what coaches say about a guy that they previously coached, right? Because they get you hyped, but then when they have a guy that has to wrestle you, like, oh, he's not that good. He's weak here. He's slow here. So I'm curious
yeah.
about
I
what
think
Zeke's been
I
saying
think
about me to get you ready.
it's no different than any other match that I go into, any other big match. He knows what you're good at, and he said, I've coached them, I've trained them, I know what he has, I know what he does, and so it's. I mean, I think any coach does that, so I don't think it's any different. I don't think he's specifically saying anything um about you, but just like any other match, he says this is what he has. Just looks at you like another opponent that he's coached, that he's been around with. So it's nothing different.
I got you.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. So, and your turn, Zahid, if you got a question for Jordan.
yeah. Let's see. I would say, um, why is it that you think people talk about how your sprint is so much better than mine?
I think because I'm doing it against the best guys in the world. You're just doing it against the best guys in the country. So
Okay, and
it's going to take some more time. It's going to take some more
see,
time, right? You'll get there. You'll
I
get
have
there,
an
but
answer to that because your sprint has been showed over the past 5 years, where mine, I'm rarely in the sprint position. There's not a lot of matches where I've been down,
that just
in
means you
that
haven't wrestled
position. So
anyone good,
now
bruh.
that's fine. I'm here. I'm
That's
ready.
more of an
I'm ready
indictment
now.
on your opponents than on you. Now, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You had quality opponents. I don't want to downplay the significance of anyone you've wrestled. You have an amazing sprint. I'm sure. I'm sure that late in the match, I watched your match against Nate Jackson. You got taken down. For him to take the lead with him, I think there was like 30 seconds left, some short time. Anyway, you
Yeah.
came right out, shot right away, got to the attack, ran him out of bounds, and then held him off. So you definitely have your sprint's high quality. I just don't think it's going to be necessary. I don't think you're going to need it tomorrow. I think that you're going to have to start sprinting a lot sooner than 20 seconds if you hope to be in the match.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man, for sure.
We will see, absolutely, and we're all super excited for it, gentlemen. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today. We wish both of you the best of luck tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Oh, David, I'm pumped. I am freaking fired up. This is gonna be one for the ages.
Oh man, I can't. This main event is gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be in the back of my mind during all of the other matches. Like what's happening in this Burroughs-Zahid match. I can't wait.
And there's not heat between them, right? They like each other. They're very very respectful towards each other, but there is a little like difference of opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Zahid was waiting to ask him that question about the sprint, right?
Yeah.
And we saw the tweets. It was all in good fun, but it's in the back of Zahid's mind.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, but when Mark Hall played the air guitar after he beat Zahid played one and smashed it on the stage at NCAA's. This stuff doesn't it doesn't get past him. He's thinking of this, and it's going to motivate him. I can't wait to see how this goes.
I can't wait to see how it goes either. It's going down tomorrow. We are super excited about it. 8 p.m. Eastern, first match goes down, and then 7 full matches. With our main event, Zahid versus Burroughs. Be sure to tune in for David Bray. I am Mark Bader. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's press conference. We'll see y'all tomorrow.